Hello and welcome back to Confessions of a Gamer Girl. We have a special episode for you today, for your ears, for your eyes, for all of your senses. It is the special edition of Confessions of a Gamer Girl with our reactions to the Game Award. And I'm joined by probably one of my most favorite ginger-haired women in this world, Jen. Jen's
No!
here!
We've been trying to
Oh, my
make this happen
goodness.
for so long.
We have been trying to make this happen for a while, and really it's my fault for living in Australia.
Yeah.
You will you will find it extremely difficult if you ever do embark on a journey of content creation and talking to people internationally, that Australia and the UK, the time zones just don't play well with one another at all.
Preach.
But we're here, and I'm so happy to have you. In case people are watching this video and haven't watched the video of just you and I talking about you and all your adventures, let everyone know who you are, what you do.
I'm Jen, also known as Genbox360 over on Twitter. I will never call that X, by the way.
Same.
And I write for Windows Central, so I'm a contributor over there. Write about games, tech, all that jazz, and just generally get emotional on Twitter about Diablo. That's me.
It's incredibly entertaining.
Yeah.
And look, if you're on X, Twitter, whatever the heck you call it, give her a follow. I'll have her links down below. But Jen has been a massive supporter of not only myself but this podcast, so it's absolutely sensational to have her here. We should probably get started because there's a lot of juice. There's a lot of juice to consume from this Game Award show. Now, Jen, I must ask you, how did you watch the show? Live or after the fact?
So, and I say thankfully I didn't watch it live, because I don't know how much I would be able to concentrate on. It wasn't the show I expected. I went to bed because it ran from about 12:30 till 4:30 a.m. in the UK.
Yeah, wow.
And I've got children, so I can't stay up late.
Mhm.
So I woke up in the morning. I thought, right, I'm gonna get a coffee, watch this Game Awards, enjoy it, but I did want to know who won straight away. So I just checked that on my phone
Yep.
quickly before I went on to react. Yeah, so I watched it quite a few hours after everybody else on the team did. How about yourself?
Yeah. I watched it live because in Australia in Western Australia anyway, it started at 8 a.m. So a much more
That's a nice time for you then.
healthy, a bit more of a healthy time. I know quite a number of people that watched it while they're at work or like just listened to it while they're at work. Lucky them. But yeah, no, I think most people do what you do and they just go and find out who the winner was of Game of the Year, and then you know, skip forward and sort of digest the things that they're interested in, because there's probably a number of categories that not everyone's into. But you know what? That's one thing that I will give Jeff Keighley props for. There is always an award for, it's really across the whole field. Like there's nothing that's sort of not touched, if that makes sense.
Yeah, though they do pack a few of them into the pre-show, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
There's a lot to go through in it. I do enjoy sitting and watching the whole thing, and I have done in previous years. I just felt that this year more than ever, it was less about the games and the people that make them. So I just lost my interest very quickly.
I didn't get through it.
Baldur's Gate has just ruined me now because every single game that comes out, I'm like, can I have sex with a bear?
Okay, so here we go. So Game of the Year, Baldur's Gate 3. In Game of the Year, there was Alan Wake 2, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario, and Legend of Zelda. Look, I feel like it was going to be between Wonder and Baldur's Gate 3. And yeah, I'm really not surprised and super happy for
I
them.
thought it was going to be between Baldur's Gate and Alan Wake, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
just because of how wild everybody was going
Yeah.
over that game. Just before the Game Awards, so it's the most recent one in our memory. That purely that really.
Well, they won Best Game Direction.
Mhm.
Uh,
That's another one on my
which
backlog. Oh, I've got such a backlog.
we've been eating this year, that's for sure.
Mhm.
Player's Voice, Baldur's Gate 3. Now, I believe this
That was the
area is
public
like,
vote, yeah?
yes, yeah.
Mhm.
And what was in there? I don't know why Genshin Impact was in there, to be honest. It's kind of, I don't know where that came from. Best Narrative, Alan Wake 2. I haven't played it, so I can't
Yeah.
comment.
I need to play the original Alan Wake, which I know is backwards compatible, or is it been
Yes, it is.
remastered? So I need to do that first, and apparently it's quite short. That's gonna be on my list for like the Christmas period where we're all on leave, and I've actually got some time to sit down with it. So I need to play that before I play the second one. I don't think you have to, but there's
No, no.
references in the second one that you appreciate more if you play the original. I don't want to miss out on that. But yeah, I'm
And then
looking forward.
Art Direction, Alan Wake 2.
Mm-hmm.
Hi-Fi Rush and Lies of P were in there as well. I thought the art in Lies of P was fantastic. So
Yeah.
um,
I'm glad Hi-Fi Rush won Best Audio Design, though. I
it
was
did.
sure everyone would forget about that game by this point because it came out
Oh,
in January, and I'm so glad they didn't.
mm.
They deserve their flowers.
Honestly, I saw John Johannes up on that stage and he was beaming. Like
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to host a panel with him on it, with Rich Lambert, and like honestly, he loves his game so much, and I'm so glad that they got recognized,
Yeah.
because, and like honestly, I couldn't think of a more perfect category for them to win, to be honest. Best score and music, Final Fantasy 16.
Should have been
Uh,
Baldur's Gate. I disagree with that one entirely. I played the Baldur's Gate theme tune in my car constantly.
Oh,
I would
well.
just give every award to Baldur's Gate, to be fair.
They didn't get nominated in everyone. Best performance we've spoken about already. Neil Newbon, Baldur's Gate 3, and Games for Impact. I can't say this right. Is it Chia? To Chia?
I think so.
Yeah. So I played Terra Nil, which was in that category, and it was sort of games that have sort of like a social impact. So whether it's teaching you
Yeah.
about the environment, or it might be, about some sort of like societal issue. Yeah, I thought that was. I mean, I haven't played that one, so I'm not quite sure. And then we have best ongoing game, Cyberpunk 2077. How do you
I
feel
thought this
about
was
that?
a really curious category because for me, an ongoing game is like a live service game, something that has regular patches, updates, content drops. So I don't know why Diablo 4 wasn't nominated in this because
I don't know
they've
why it
released
wasn't
new
either.
content. Whereas Cyberpunk
Surely there'd be
2077,
seasons.
it's just DLC that's come out for that.
Yeah,
So I'm confused as to what makes a game ongoing in the context of the Game Awards.
me too.
I mean,
Because
fair play, Cyberpunk 2077, it's had an amazing comeback, but I just don't think it's right for this category.
I completely agree. Honestly, in that category, I think Fortnite should have won, to be honest. It has brought back so many
Yes.
players with its no build mode, and honestly, it's just look, I get that it gets a lot of flack for its microtransactions, but you know what? It's really fun, and everyone that I speak to who's gone back into the game have a wonderful time. So
A lot of the people that put down Fortnite don't think about it in the fact that we are not the target audience for Fortnite. So,
no, that's true.
my son adores it. He doesn't play it all the time, but he returned recently for the season drop where they've returned back to the very old style of
The
Fortnite.
OG.
Yeah, so it was the OG map and all that. I had absolutely
Yeah.
no idea. He'd come running in. He was like, "Mum, they've put the OG map on Fortnite. Are you writing about it?" I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about." No, I'm not writing about it. You know, most of
Fortnite?
my
What?
readers are over the age of 30. But we actually did get somebody to write about that, so I alerted them that all the kids are talking about this. Yeah, but no, they do really well in content drops again. I will jump into that Lego
Oh,
Fortnite.
yes.
That is the first time I've felt like I want to play Fortnite. That looks amazing.
It's a lot of fun. It's pretty much like Minecraft, except you have like blueprints
Hmm.
that you can use for your building, and the more you build, the more you unlock stuff. It's really cute, and you can like have a little world with your friends, and yeah.
Yeah, it looks cool. I need to
Yeah.
check that out.
Yeah, just look, Final Fantasy, Genshin Impact, Apex Legends, like any of those could have won, but Cyberpunk
Yeah, the Cyberpunk
2077,
just doesn't seem to
it's
fit well in that
it
category,
sticks
or
out.
yeah, but let them have their trophy. It's fine.
Yeah, best indie it was out of Cocoon, Dave the Diver, Dredge, Sea of Stars, and Viewfinder, and Sea of Stars won. So congratulations to them. Best debut indie game
Cocoon.
was Cocoon.
Yeah, that looks like a fabulous game.
It is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I think that
Best
one has surprised everybody as well this year.
I mean, out of those, I would have said Cocoon or Dredge.
Hmm.
Uh, then there was Pizza Tower, Venba, and Viewfinder. So, I mean, look, that category didn't even get someone like on the stage. That was just the one where he was standing in the audience. And look, I get that not everyone can be there to accept the award, but they could have at least put a little video up,
Yeah.
especially in this category, because that's a whole genre, you know.
Hmm.
Best community support, Baldur's Gate 3, of course.
Of course.
Of course, they cleaned up.
They did.
I just saw on their, I think, Twitter, it was like the most wholesome tweet I've ever seen. It was like them sitting there with like their laptops and stuff, like all like cheering, like every time they won something,
Oh,
and it
and they
was
destroy that poor girl's laptop by throwing
yeah,
beer over it.
yeah.
That was fabulous. And then the best part of that video was her saying, they better buy me a new laptop with this Game of the Year money.
I don't know if
Love it.
you don't think you get money. It's just the honor, isn't
No,
it?
you don't. You don't. But maybe they'll get more game sales, which means more money.
Maybe.
We'll see. They'll have a Game of the Year edition.
Well, now that it's on Xbox, I'm
Hmm.
sure lots of people will be jumping into that for sure. And you
Hmm.
know, like all of this money goes to the company.
Yeah.
It's the way that they do it is fantastic. Best AR VR. Look, I'm not a VR girly, but apparently, Resident Evil Village VR mode, probably
That
scary
sounds
as hell.
terrifying. Yeah. I can't get down with VR, purely because it makes me feel nauseous when I
Mm,
try. So we do have a Quest 2 in the house,
okay.
that we almost just bring it out as a party piece when we've got people over. Like, wow, look, you can look at this Shark Tank in VR. When it comes to actual games, I can't play anything for more than 5 minutes without feeling sick. It just does something strange to my brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's because we have a lot of like vestibular, like balance things inside our ears. And if we take all of our like senses away, our body's like, what do you mean I can't, like, I'm not actually
It's
touching
like
the
travel
thing without,
sickness, isn't it? So
yeah,
your
yeah,
body's not moving in the car. Yeah,
yeah, but you're
can't get down with
moving.
it. Hmm.
Mm. Best mobile game, Honkai Star Rail.
Where was Twitter on this list? My favourite mobile game is winding people up on Twitter. Deserved it more than any of
I
this.
think they like winding you up
Yeah,
more than anything.
it doesn't work.
No social media in that category. I mean, Hello Kitty Island Adventure. I mean, that was in that category.
I wanted Monster Hunter now to win this because that's basically like Pokemon, but with
Oh, is
Monster
it?
Hunter. Yeah, it's pretty
Oh,
cool. I don't know much about Honkai Star Rail, however you say that. I know it's very popular. We got notifications that it was getting a hell of a lot of Google clicks, but absolutely nobody on the team knew anything about
Had
it. Again,
played
I
it.
don't think, are we not the target audience for this either? What do you think of it?
I don't think so.
Hmm.
Probably not.
But yeah, check out Monster Hunter now, though. You'll probably enjoy that.
Okay. Best action adventure we mentioned already was The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, looking at that list, there was Alan Wake 2, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, and Star Wars, Jedi Survivor. Yeah, I think out of those, it seems pretty
I think it should have
fair.
won. For my personal pick would have been Resident Evil 4 remake. I know there's been a lot of, controversy over should remakes get nominations. I said that they should, especially when they're done as
Oh,
well as Resident Evil 4 was done. It
okay.
still takes an incredible amount of work, and you shouldn't take that away from the developers.
Mm,
Um, and they did put extra content in there. It wasn't exactly like the original.
okay.
And I played it 3 times over. I got a lot of enjoyment out of it. So that would have been my personal pick, but I'm happy that Zelda got an award.
For sure. Best action, Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon. Apparently, the gunplay in that game is phenomenal.
Yeah, the clips I've seen of it are pretty cool. I have not played it. It looks too sweaty. I just can't get down with sweaty gun games. I prefer, so Dead Island 2 was on this list. I prefer something like that that doesn't take itself so seriously.
Yeah.
Um, Remnant 2 was amazing as well. It was very
Yeah.
Souls-like. I had a lot of fun in multiplayer on that game. Hi-Fi Rush, again, incredible. I would have picked
Mhm.
that. So for me, Armored Core, but that's just because I haven't played it.
Mm. Yeah, no, I can definitely resonate with that. It's, I mean, not to stereotype, but you and I probably aren't their target audience.
Yeah.
The
Can
gamer
I suck a bear
girls.
in Armored Core? No.
I will chop your head off in Resident Evil, though. You know.
Yeah.
uh, Best RPG, of course, goes to Baldur's Gate 3.
Obviously.
Obviously. Now,
Yeah.
this was a category where Starfield was nominated.
Hmm. On
How do
no
you feel about
planet, in no universe, in any dimension, would Starfield win over Baldur's Gate 3. As much as people love it, and I enjoyed it as well, it just doesn't have the same powerful story as Baldur's Gate 3. Just my opinion. So I'm happy with that pick. You don't have all the branching narratives and different ways the story can go like you do with Baldur's Gate 3. For me, it just doesn't have the replayability. I'm going to get all
it?
the Xbox coming after me after I've said that.
You know what? It's true. And if they are going to come at you, they need to go and play Baldur's Gate 3 because they haven't.
Play both of them and then come back to me and tell me which one
Yeah.
has the better story.
For sure.
Hmm.
There was also Lies of P, Sea of Stars, and Final Fantasy 16 in there. As far as I'm concerned, Final Fantasy 16 in regards to its story is a lot of pretty hallways. So, I mean, how compelling is that? I mean, compared to Baldur's Gate 3, not particularly. Lies of P, I think probably is one of the most interesting takes on a story, like
Hmm.
taking the story of Pinocchio and really, switching it around.
Yeah.
I think that takes a lot of. It's very artful, but like again, like you said, there's no way on any planet that Baldur's Gate 3 was not going to win that category.
Hmm.
Best fighting, Street Fighter 6. I thought Mortal Kombat 1 would win. To be honest,
Really?
I thought it had. I just thought it had more fans.
I felt like that game had a lot more hype around it than Street Fighter, definitely.
Okay, I
Yeah.
guess people already assume that Street Fighter is going to. I don't know that it's going to be good. I,
Hmm.
yeah, like I guess like I've played a lot of these games, but I'm not a passionate fan. but I think I saw more about Mortal Kombat 1 than I did about Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Best family, Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
Fair.
Yes.
Yeah. Gotta love
Fair.
Mario.
Yep, definitely. I think that was a good choice. So that was up against Disney Illusion Island, Party Animals, Pimpkin 4, and Sonic Superstars. Honestly,
Mario just appeals across all the generations, doesn't? So that encompasses the best family category. So that was a fair choice.
For sure. What else do we have? Best Sim Strategy, Pimpkin 4.
Oh, I hate strategy games. Just looking at the this list, thinking this would be like for me to have to play through any of these.
Note to self: don't give Jen a Sim Strategy game.
Yeah, don't send me a code for City Skyline. I won't play it.
It's on Game Pass. So. Best sports racing, Forza Motorsport. Now, I accidentally dipped my toes into a Twitter argument about this.
Oh no.
It just, yeah. I think within that category, so there was EA Sports FC 24, F1 23, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, and the Crew Motorfest. Lots of people were like, the Crew Motorfest was way better.
I've played a hell of a lot of Hot Wheels. Not a racing game fan, but my youngest loves racing games and he's obsessed with Hot Wheels, so I've played a lot of that. He does like Forza as well, so basically the only games that I'm allowed to play while he's awake are racing games. So that's how I end up playing. I know you're a bit of a racing queen, aren't you, from what I hear?
Yes, I have played all of those.
Yeah. And what's your pick out of that category?
Like I said, they're all very different. So they're going to draw in a different crowd. Look at Hot Wheels. That's a kids game.
Yes.
I reviewed it, but it's a kids game. And then the Crew Motorfest is an arcade style. It's kind of like a little bit of a rip-off of Forza Horizon, the way that they've sort of they've made arcade racing a little bit more serious and have a little bit more personality. There were flaws with the Crew for sure. Formula 123, very serious, but I don't know, lacked a little bit of soul, I guess. And quite frankly, EA Sports Football Club 24 wasn't going to win against a racing game. That would never happen. I think, look, Forza Motorsport copped a lot of flack because some of the assets were brought in from previous Forza Motorsports, and the people with magnifying glasses were like, "This is exactly the same. It's not brand new."
Every single bit of the content to be brand new. That's how they get these games out the door, reusing previous assets and putting an extra layer of paint on them. That's just how it works.
I think overall, Forza Motorsport is a fantastic entry level sim racing game. So if you haven't played a sim racing game before, Forza Motorsport is a very gentle entry into that genre. It's not perfect. None of these games are perfect. But if I was to compare them all and say which one felt the best, like Forza Motorsport is a beautiful game. It looks lovely, like the dynamic weather and, the way that the photography is. And, people just didn't like the way that you have to like level up a car to unlock parts and things like that. I think that was another thing that the community really weren't keen on. But you know what? I play this game, I'm going to race the car, So, and I think that they've rejigged like how long it takes to level up the car and stuff. Like I played today and like, I think I gained, so each car you can level up to 50. I think I gained like 5 levels in like 2 races. So, like that's pretty reasonable. Anyway, I'll stop going on about that.
That's fine. I love hearing about someone that's actually passionate about racing games. Right.
I think like people get different things out of racing games, and then like I said, they're all going to be so different. And yeah, like, I don't know, really should have Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 gone in the kids category, maybe, or family game, maybe. But yeah.
Hey, yeah, that is a tough game. We have that set on easy, and I struggle with some of those
Really?
But yeah.
Oh, it's very fun, although it did creep me out a little bit that there was no driver. That's the only thing. I don't
See,
know why.
in my head canon with that game, it's a little kid pushing us around the track going,
Yeah.
and that's why there's no driver. Yeah, that's how I make it entertaining for myself.
All right. I'll remember that next time. Now, best multiplayer, Baldur's Gate 3.
Should have been
That
Diablo.
beat.
It's the one category I disagree with. That being said, I have not played Baldur's Gate 3 in co-op. Yet. No, I've just played it as a solo campaign. I will play it in co-op and see what it's like. I know it's meant to be as fun as playing D&D with your pals. I just can't imagine not having control over. I'm a control freak. I just can't imagine not having control over all the characters in the party and being completely at the,
the mercy
of what my friend that I'm playing with is going to do in a situation. It just terrifies me, but I need to give it a go. I've played a lot of Diablo 4 in multiplayer, obviously, and it's a lot of fun. I suppose you don't really get the different experience every time with that game, so Baldur's Gate is probably the fair choice here, but my game for best multiplayer was Diablo 4.
I think with both of those games, they do multiplayer very well, and they provide another layer to the delicious experience that is playing these games. It's tough. It's really tough because I've played both
all of
these
these
games.
categories are tough. This year has been tough. A lot of these games in any other year would have been the winner in their respective categories, but put up against each other. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not a judge.
For sure. Most anticipated Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
I'm sorry to Final Fantasy fans. If Jordan's watching this, she's going to kill me. I don't really know anything about Final Fantasy. I'm sorry.
Like a Dragon, Star Wars Outlaws, and Tekken 8.
My pick out of that was Hades 2. Loved the original Hades, and I'm not normally a roguelite fan. But yeah, fantastic game. Cannot wait for the sequel.
That's not really a category. Like, that's a category that I'm okay with. Like,
you could put anything in there, though, couldn't you? Yeah, it's just okay. Anticipated game. Are we talking about next year? Talking about in 10 years? Because if we're talking about that, it's going to be Elder Scrolls 6 for me. If that game ever comes out.
I haven't even seen anything. It's not on my radar, that's for sure. I haven't seen anything.
There's literally just a PowerPoint presentation saying Elder Scrolls 6 that they've been showing it feels like the last decade.
Jen actually made it.
Yeah, it was made by me. I'm a developer now. Yeah. So
no, you're just
I'll probably be a grandmother by the time that game comes out. There we are.
Oh my goodness. Okay, what is the next one? Best adaptation, The Last of Us. I think.
Did you watch The Last of Us TV show?
I did, even though I haven't played the game.
Yes, same.
There you go.
Yeah, so I haven't played the game either. My other half has. I've seen a few scenes of it, and from what he's told me, a lot of it was spot on what the game was like, and then there was a few surprises on how they adapted certain stories. But that show, amazing. We could not wait to get the next one on. So yeah, definitely the best pick.
And then we have Content Creator of the Year. Now, I was not on this list.
Where is your name? Next year.
Next year, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
People Make Games, Quackity, Spreen, Cypher PK, and the winner was Iron Mouse. Now, if you don't know do you know who Iron Mouse is?
Absolutely not.
Okay, all right, I'll give you the lowdown. So she is a Puerto Rican American VTuber, singer, and Twitch streamer. She's a founding member of
and
yeah.
streamer. Oh, interesting. Multifaceted girl.
She has over 1 million followers on Twitch.
Wow.
Yeah. And she is the most followed English language VTuber on the platform.
Sounds like we should check her out.
I have seen a interview with her, and there's this psychiatrist, and he goes around and he actually talks to gamers and like gaming content creators. Like he spoke to Pokimane, he spoke to PewDiePie, like all of these like people within that space and like the issues that they've had. And yeah, he spoke to her, and just wondering like why you do what you do, and yeah, just to see, to talk about if they're okay, I guess. The backstory with her is that she originally planned to pursue a career as an opera singer, but she was diagnosed. Yeah, she was diagnosed with common variable immunodeficiency, which is an immune disorder that has left her largely bedridden and isolated. This required her to remain isolated from others, a situation which intensified in 2020, obviously because of COVID-19. Yeah.
But she's turned all that around to become the biggest streamer?
One of the most famous English-speaking VTubers out there. So, yeah, I mean, pretty valid choice, I think, out of those.
Yeah, impressive.
All right, now we go to Best Esports Game. Valorant was the winner out of Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, PUBG Mobile.
Next.
Like Call of Duty's not up there. That's interesting. Best Esports Athlete, Faker.
Yeah, next.
Cool story, says Jen. Best
esports. Best esports. These are all esports. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, these are all, yeah.
No disrespect to the esports community.
I think, you know what, out of all of this esports category, there was only one female.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was, I think it was, where is it?
Christine. I think she's a coach.
Yeah.
Potter? Yeah.
Yeah. So
she trains them up.
Well, what coaches do is so you've played World of Warcraft, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so imagine in the raid or the dungeon, there's the people playing, but then there's the person looking.
Right. Oh, okay.
They're looking at all the timers and, helping them predict the next movement and, your mana's low, you need this, you need that, like that kind of thing. Yeah, so that's amazing.
I need a coach when I'm gaming. To watch my live pool that I constantly leave my eyes. Yeah, that sounds cool.
Best esports.
Use your potion.
Best esports event, League of Legends World Championship. Oh yeah, sure. Innovation in accessibility, Forza Motorsport, and I believe that is because of their blind driving integration, which is actually incredible. Definitely, there's been a lot of talk in the community, and whether you're listening to this and you're all around it or you're wondering, what the heck is actually going on, but the community in general are not very happy with the amount of time assigned to the actual people that made these games. And overall, I mean, the show goes for what, 3-4 hours? I think about half an hour of that was actually assigned to games. Now, look, don't get me wrong. I love to see game trailers. I love to see what's coming out. Like that's part of the hype behind.
It's like
the
winter E3, isn't it? Really, it's
Yeah.
yeah, E3 in December, and I get that is what it kind of is. It is an advertising showcase. I just wish they weren't so blatant about it sometimes. And I just
What
think with the runtime of the show, they can give more time to the guys that accept the awards.
what do you mean by blatant, Jen? Tell me more.
Oh my God. So the moment that I mentally switched off for me was when they gave the guy that plays Astarion in Baldur's Gate his award. Let me find, what was that one actually called? Best performance. That's it. So they pass him his award. He's clearly very emotional. Didn't expect to win. Why, I don't know, because for me he was
Yeah,
the
neither do I. He's
winner.
like,
Yeah. He's really very emotional. I think he got about like 3-4 words out of his mouth before they started playing the music to rush him off. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm not here for this. I mean, I could watch that man talk for like an hour. So I was very angry and I was very emotional straight away when that happened. And yeah, it just seemed really, really distasteful.
Yeah, I definitely got that vibe overall. I mean, especially because these games are in development for so long, and for them to play music over the top of someone speaking is, I just find, absolutely disgusting, to be quite blunt.
And then later we found out that they'd got a teleprompter in the background saying, please wrap it up. It's just so rude.
Apparently, so I've seen a couple of other people's reactions, and apparently there was actually, you could actually hear like not a speaker, but it was kind of like finish it or cut it. I think that people could hear, like if you were sitting like closest to the stage, and I'm like, really?
Imagine listening to that while you this award you've been waiting for your entire life, you're accepting, and you're hearing that in the background. So off-putting.
Most
Oh, yeah.
definitely.
I bet
And
Gonzo didn't get hurried through his chat, whatever he was saying.
You know what,
He got all the time in the world.
My childhood did get a little bit shattered when I saw the picture of the puppeteer or puppet artist, I'm not sure what they're called, with his hand up the puppet's butt, like, and moving him around and talking to Jeff Keighley, and I was like, oh, okay, childhood over. But no, like, honestly, a puppet got more time than the voice actor for Astarion. Like,
yeah, it was very misplaced.
I think, look, in general, I think that my thoughts overall, the whole vibe made it feel like the people that make games aren't taken seriously. And that we're not, it's almost like they're not cool enough. And I'll tell you why. Do you know who actually presented the award for Game of the Year?
Timothy Chalamet, am I saying that right?
Timothy Chalamet. Do you know who he is?
I do know who he is. I don't know why he was at the Game Awards, but I know who he is.
Okay, I'll give you some backstory. So obviously he's most famous for obviously being an actor at the moment.
Is he in a video game?
He's in Dune.
Oh, that's in the movie, but yeah.
Yeah, and
oh yeah, sorry, you carry on.
No, he's never made a video game, but back in the day, he dabbled in a YouTube channel in which he actually painted Xbox 360 controllers.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So apparently it got a lot of, like, it was very not nice. Now, I've never seen any of these videos, but I think it was, I don't know whether it was supposed to be funny or it was satire. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, it
Okay,
was
I'm
just
gonna need to see these pictures now. You can't just say that. Did you find evidence?
Let me hold on. What's it called?
Timothy Chalamet painting Xbox controllers is not something I imagine Googling today. But I'm going to do it. Did he disrespect an Xbox controller? I need to know.
I look, like I said, I
Oh.
haven't seen.
Oh.
Yes, so hold
strike
on.
disaster going on here.
Hold on. I'm gonna have to put it up on the screen so everyone else can see it, because otherwise they're going to think we're crazy. What am I doing? I'm adding this. It is here. There it is. Okay. So okay, I'll show you.
I mean, how old was he when he did this, in all fairness? I mean, if he was about 4 years old, fair play.
He wasn't 4 years old, maybe 15?
Okay. Interesting. I mean, it's maybe he's a visionary.
Is he? Anyway,
But that's a really strange link to gaming that I wasn't expecting.
Well, there you go. There you have it. If you're wondering why he was selected to present Game of the Year, it's because he's really famous and he did some weird stuff in gaming when he was a teenager. And look, maybe he's atoning. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't think that this is the right platform for that. Like, Phil Spencer was there.
I thought
Todd
he was going to come on
Howard
stage.
was there.
Yeah. Get someone who's famous within the gaming community. That would be more appropriate. I agree with you on that.
And that is quintessentially the reason why people who make games and gamers that are famous are treated like almost like second-class citizens in the media. And the more that gaming is considered a form of entertainment, I feel like it's going to be a lot harder for them to be taken seriously, which is honestly, it's a shame. It really is, because these are extremely talented people. And overall, this was honestly just a kick in the face. It really was. And I understand that people need to make money, and you have to guarantee to the people who are investing in the show that, what, this famous person will be seen on the red carpet and they'll get this many, clicks, hits, whatever. I understand that there are stakeholders here, but to have just pick Pokimane or some like a really famous streamer.
Yeah, she would come out and throw her expensive cookies to the audience. You get a cookie. You get a cookie. I would much rather see that. Yeah.
Honestly, I would have. What's his name? It's gone. Why is it gone? PewDiePie. He gets a lot of clicks. PewDiePie presents Game of the Year. Not Timothy Chalamet, who plays Wonka.
No, his name does sound nice too. It just rolls off the tongue. But yeah, it's not appropriate for the Game Awards. No, I agree. I mean, Keeley has come out and apologised. Well, half apologised, hasn't he? And said that they agreed that the music was played too fast. He told the team to chill out on it about halfway through the show. I don't feel like that actually happened. I still felt like people were getting cut off. He remains staunch that people were not cut off, but the problem is playing music is cutting people off because it's hurrying them through. It's making that distinction. And surely this show and how the times of it run were rehearsed for months prior.
You would think so. They didn't just...
It just seems like a reaction to all of the hate that they've got online afterwards, to me, than actual genuine apologistic behaviour. Yeah.
And you know what? I'm happy to add to that chorus. I'm happy to add to that noise here, because it's already so much of a struggle to be in this space, and then to attend a night where you're receiving an award at a global level. To have that be such a disappointing moment for yourself must be extremely disheartening. And I think Jeff Keighley needs to realize, like, award shows like the Oscars, they're decreasing in popularity, but an award show like this is increasing.
Yeah,
In
it's only getting more and more
popularity.
viewers, so they need to sort it out for next year.
I don't.
We
This
spent
is
more
gone.
time talking about the winners than they did at the actual Game Awards.
We did, and you know
You're
what?
welcome. You're welcome, guys.
Every single one of these teams, we love you. We think you're cool. That sounded like I was your mum telling you that you're cool, but that's okay. I don't care.
Can I just interrupt this for an advertisement for the Legion Go? No, that's what they did there, but yeah.
So I'm gonna have to stop you there.
Yeah, wrap it up.
Cue the music.
Wrap it up. Oh, I should have had some music prepared to like shut you up.
Hold on. Is it gonna play?
Oh yeah.
Sorry,
Wow.
I'm just, I just wanted to thank you all for all the work you do, and yeah, okay, thanks, bye.
Wrap it up.
No, but in all seriousness, I look forward to a Game Awards 2024 where people are able to share to celebrate their game for more than 30 seconds. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see if they do make changes next year from all the controversy around this year's awards.
What would you change? What would your advice be to Jeff?
Advice to Jeff. Wear armor to present the awards. Because that guy that accepted the awarded armor is the most badass dude I've ever seen. But no, just,
He was fantastic.
you know what? Let them talk for half hour if they want to, and edit it later when it goes up on YouTube. I know it's live. Just give them the time.
Yeah, for sure. I tell you one thing though, Christopher Judge and hold on, Christopher Judge and Neil Newbon should make a podcast. Just saying. I would listen to Kratos and Astarion talk all day long about
those two voices together.
The dictionary. Yeah, I'd be interested. If you're listening, you should collab on something. Just saying.
Definitely. What do you think of the comment, the joke that Christopher Judge made about Call of Duty? Because I've got some thoughts, but if you want to go first.
I don't know where they came from. Like, is there like a history there that I'm missing? Did he get called out?
I feel bad that he's getting so much heat when it's turned out that it was something on the teleprompter that was like approved as a joke, not something spontaneous.
Oh, it was on the teleprompter.
Yeah, so it's a shame that he's going to get the flack for it. But on the other hand, to me, I know it's horrible to say because it has upset people, but for me it was like, okay, it was a funny joke. And you see these kind of jokes all the time at movie awards and music awards. Yeah, I mean, lest we forget when Ricky Gervais did the Oscars and he completely, tore all the actors in that audience a new one. It happens all the time in other industries, but for some reason, when it happens in the gaming industry, people get very upset. And the joke itself, he did go on for such a long time last year that I think if he'd have said any game, it would have been funny. If he'd have said it was the entire campaign of Elden Ring, it would have been funny. The fact that he said Call of Duty after everybody has been kind of ribbing them for having a short campaign is why people are so upset. But even journalists were making jokes about that previous to the show. I think it's just obviously people say that it's not the right platform for that joke because we're meant to be celebrating developers out, and I can completely understand that side of it as well. That some people thought that it was in bad taste.
Look, COD hasn't been having a very good year all around.
It has not.
So it was one way to definitely twist the knife.
Yes.
But and I'm sure that the Call of Duty devs have heard a lot worse. So
from their own players.
Yeah, so I honestly, I think this should be, they should take it, like water off a duck's back.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think, there's way worse things out there that could have been said, but I understand, obviously from a peer, someone that, works in these games
Yeah,
alongside
but
these
I
kinds of
think it's just
people.
because it was delivered by him, and that maybe they can accept these jokes better when they are from journalists, because who takes journalists seriously?
That
You
is
know,
true.
like
Uh,
myself.
I take you seriously.
Thank you.
And I I can seriously guarantee that Christopher Judge will never voice a character in Call of Duty ever. Yeah, unless, Phil Spencer really
We've had
likes
Nicki
Christopher Judge.
Minaj in Call of Duty, I've seen everything.
Oh, look, there's probably a mod out there, but oh my goodness. Well, I think overall, unless there's something else you'd like to talk about, Jen, there were a lot of highs, but also a lot of lows, and I think we've overall expressed our disappointment, and not necessarily because we weren't entertained enough, but I think we all collectively just feel bad for the people who weren't allowed to fully celebrate their games.
To fully express themselves. Yeah, it was difficult to watch. And the like I said, the moment they started playing music over Neil, I mentally checked out. I'm like, okay, I'm going to fast forward through this show now, because this is not for me.
Yeah.
This, this is not aimed at me as an audience.
Yep.
This is just an advertising showcase. But there you go.
For sure.
What good did come of it was Baldur's Gate dropping on Xbox,
Yeah.
which I'm surprised they didn't announce during the show.
That is
So
another thing.
back in October, I predicted, because I am clairvoyant, I've decided I'm just going to announce this, that
You
Baldur's
heard it
Gate
here
would
first.
win, and during the speech they would shadow drop it on Xbox. And then other people have said that as well, but I maintain that I was one of the first. And I thought that would just be a great mic drop at the end of the speech, and it didn't happen. They just sort of announced it on Twitter afterwards. I thought that was very,
Yeah.
very strange. It makes me wonder if they meant to announce it in the show and they just didn't have time.
Well, honestly, what is this? It's not like a dinner booking, like you've got another person waiting. Oh, sorry, the other award show that's being hosted here tonight has a booking at,
Yeah,
at
you're the
this
last guys on the
time.
stage.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't you say?
Why was it rushed? But you know what would have been epic is if Phil would have gone up there and he's like, "Hey guys, you know how much I love games, and
I'm
this
loving this
game."
impression right now. Keep going.
This game means so much to me. Congratulations, Baldur's Gate, game of the year, so great. And then he's like up there and he like gives the award. He's like, yeah, and he like pats the Tin Man suit and they talk to, they're talking and celebrating. And then he goes, and when you leave here tonight, you'll be able to play it on
Yeah.
Xbox.
That would have been great.
See you next year, gamers.
Storming the stage like that guy. Remember that guy from last year when Elden Ring accepted the award?
Yeah.
But this year it's someone better. That would have been brilliant. Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like they could have made a bigger moment of that than they did. But I'm happy it's on Xbox now. I'm happy I don't have to mess around with my graphical settings on the Steam Deck anymore to make it look good, because it just works on console. Oh, I just love console. You're not having to mess with all of that. So I'm happy to be doing my next playthrough, and it actually looks good. It didn't look very good on my Steam Deck, I will admit.
Well, I'm happy for you. And if you guys are excited about the game of the year, Baldur's Gate, like we are over here at Confessions of a Gamer Girl, definitely let us know in the comments. And definitely, after you've watched this video, check out our exclusive interview with Jen and all about her experience being a woman in gaming. Love to see it. Love that you're here. Love our listeners. Love our watchers. Thank you so much for being here. And we'll see you for the next episode of Confessions of a Gamer Girl.